22 subjects that time. There were 22. If I'm not mistaken, there were 20. So you begin to imagine, when do we read which one at what time? So life becomes a little more complicated. That means you need to have a remedy. Why am I sharing all this? When you know your story, when you learn your story, when you present your story to God, God knows what to do with your story. Put your hands together to God for that. God knows what to with your story. God knows what to do. And today, I'm here to say, do you know your story? The Holy Bible is a story of not one person, but many people whom God has touched. The Bible, in this book, the first book in the Bible is which book? Which one? Genesis. In the beginning. Turn to your neighbor, just tell him, in the beginning. Tell her, in the beginning. In the beginning. If you know you have a beginning, thank God by putting hands together. In the beginning. How many of us have chosen the families where we are born? How many of us have chosen the clans where we belong? How many of us have chosen the villages that we are coming from? There is a reason why God has brought you to Bishop Sisto Mazzoldi Senior Secondary School today. And there is a reason why God brought us to this environment. The Genesis. This is a story of people who have meditated on the hand of God and how He has created everything, and everything He looked at it and it was good. Good. And when He created you and me, He said what? Very good. This book. All of us, we have our humble beginnings that we must appreciate. We must kneel down and say, Lord, I want to thank you for this woman who gave birth to me. She was able to endure for 9 months. Yes, even when I feel like she doesn't love me now so much, Lord, thank you. 9 months being carried around. Put your hands together. You give it a thought and never forget this, forget everything. 9 months of you hanging around when someone is busy carrying you around. In this very book, there is the second book is what? The second book is what? Exodus. Listen to me. There is a main hall at St. Javida where there is a time I was sleeping in that main hall. Then we had a dormitory. Then I came here and I slept in that dormitory. My Exodus story. God shaping my story through places and events. If you know you have an Exodus, clap for Jesus because of that. I remember there is a mango tree at St. Javida where one day Monsignor Lawrence Mbwega, may his soul rest in eternal peace. One day he came, we used to call him Father Jaja, when we were young, kids league. So he comes around and tells us many stories. So from the many stories I tell Musi, I want to be an altar boy. That's why I'm talking about the Exodus. We meet people and events take us to another stage of life. From the mango tree, I was at the altar of St. Joseph's Catholic Parish, LWRZA, serving in Mass. From the mango, telling a Monsignor that Told him, actually, I told him I want to become a priest. He told me first begin by serving at what? Every one of us has his or her own exodus. What is your exodus? How are you seeing the hand of God leading you to freedom? I want to confess before you all that my greatest friends, I met them in this place. My real. The people you look up to, you say, yeah, in this place. The people you are able to call and laugh around, and remember the stories. Let me give you one story. You would go to the well down below the road, carry a 10-liter jerrycan, you come with it. Remember, water there is it's a high valued commodity. So when you place it here, because we are so many, you place it down, and someone gives you a story. By the time you turn down, it's not there. By the time you turn down, the water has what? Has gone. So we learned how to buy chains, to tie our water on the beds. Our exodus, my exodus. Have you ever thought of tying water on a bed? But these were special inspirations given to us by God because of the value of water and the surrounding environment. We learned how to buy padlocks when you fetch water because it's from very far, so it's a highly valued commodity. So you have to learn how to take care of it. You have to learn how to bathe with 3 liters of water. How many liters do you use? Learn your exodus. Learn your exodus. Your exodus are people. Your exodus, you have Moseses. One of the things I can't forget, brother, one day we were addressing us here. This was a valley, You know a valley? Yeah, for us now we are seeing new things, but that time this was a valley, well built, and then they would address us from there. So of course the head teacher comes last, and then has to adjoin the assembly. So one of the assemblies, Brother LWRZA, walks there. At the beginning of the term, we used to love his fun and jokes. So one of the things that stuck with me is here. He would say that this term is very, very important for each one of you. And it's very important, so it is an academic term. It is an academic? Then he would say, I mean sports. So he was trying to tell us, be all around. Read, sing, play, do everything for the glory of God. When I was in this school, we have one of the musicians in this country, and she's called Sisto Mazzoldi. She used to conduct a choir like the conductor I see here. In the church there, that church there. So Sisto Mazzoldi 1,000,000 times doing what? Conducting. We want to thank God in this Holy Eucharist for the gifts, the talents that have been nurtured in this place. And that's why today's reading is talking about the light, the salt. There has been so much salt from this place. This place has nurtured many of us. You are the light of the world. One of the sweetest memories in this school, almost every fortnight, we used to have a dance. You know dance? Yeah? These people don't know dance. So, do you know the joy in the school when there is a dance? Even those who have never given an answer during the whole week in class. Those who have not said the word, when you talk about dance, they use, is it kadanke? Yes. Talk about kadanke, that's when now they say, aha. That's when now they say now, I'm now in a school. We have seen gifts nurtured here. I want to thank God